Welcome to a new guitar tutorial, and today we have a look at the opening track of one of my favorite albums that came out this year. It's the opening track of the new Bruce Springsteen album, Letter to You, and it's called 1 Minute You're Here. If you're interested in a chord sheet of the song, you can go to my Patreon page. The link is down in the description. If you enjoyed the lesson, please hit subscribe and ring the bell. 1 Minute You Here is by far the quietest song on the album. It starts only with acoustic guitar, and the acoustic guitar uses a drop D tuning. Drop D tuning means you tune down the low E string to D, the whole step. All the other strings are in regular tuning. And then he's using a capo on the first fret. So we're using the chords of A major, but the song sounds in B major. For my explanation, I'm using the chord names of A major. We're starting with a normal A major chord. You can use this open A major voicing, but because of the fact that we don't use the high E string in our picking pattern, you can also use this barred A major chord. You bar the D string, the G string and the B string on the second fret, and have the open A string as our root, as our bass note. And if you use this barred version, the changes to the other chords we're using for the song gets more easier. The picking pattern, which is basically played through the complete song, goes like this. We're using our thumb for the root, for in this case the A string, the first finger for the D string, the second finger for the G string, and the third finger for the B string. And we're starting with the thumb, followed by the first finger D string, then third finger on the B string, second finger G string, and we end with our first finger on the D string. And the rhythm of the picking pattern is 1 E and E, 2 E and E, 3 E and E, 4 E and E, 1 E and E, 2 E and E, 3 E and E, 4 E and E. The song starts with a 2-bar intro on this A major chord. And then the verse begins, and the verse stays for the first 5 bars on this A major chord. And then we're changing to D major. And for the D major chord, we're using the low D string, formerly E string, as our root note. And we add the second finger on the third fret of the B string and the fourth finger on the fourth fret of the D string. And we play the same picking pattern, but now with the root on the low D or E string. And then we're changing to a D major 7 chord. We only have to remove the second finger, and then we have the B string barred on the second fret. And then we go on back to A major, and in the second half of this bar we're adding the second finger on the third fret of the B string. So we're getting an A sus4 chord, and then back to A major. So the complete verse part, we're starting with 5 bars of A major. Third bar. Fifth bar. D major. D major 7. A sus, A. And this complete section is repeated for the second verse. And after the second verse, we have a chorus section. And the chorus section starts with an E major chord. You can use this basic open E major voicing, but because of the fact we tuned down the low E string to D, we have to use the second fret on the low string to get the note E. There are different possibilities to do it. I prefer to use the thumb to have the second fret on the E string, but you can also use the second finger. Then you have to use the third finger on the A string second fret and the fourth finger on the D string second fret to get this E major chord. And we're playing the same picking pattern on this E major chord with the root on the low string for 2 bars. Then back for 2 bars on the A major chord. Then once again to this E major chord. And back to the A major chord. And here we're adding on the second half of the first A major bar, once again the middle finger to get this A sus chord. Back to A major. And then we have an A add 9 chord, and here we can add our third finger on the fourth fret of the G string. So the complete chorus section, we're starting with E major, 2 bars, to A major, back to E, A sus 4, A at 9. And then we're in the next 2 verse parts. And after these 2 verses, there's bridge section, and the bridge section starts with this D major chord again for 2 bars. Going to this A at 9 chord for 2 bars. Back to D for 2 bars. Back to A at 9 for 1 bar. Back to D. And after that, there's 1 more verse part played as the verses before, and the song ends on a vamp using 2 bars of D major and 2 bars of A major. And so on. This was the guitar part of 1 Minute You Hear by Bruce Springsteen. I hope you enjoyed the lesson. Please hit subscribe if you haven't, or ring the bell, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.